Awesome.
Hi everyone, my name is Carmen, Carmen Beaumont. I'm the Director of Vita Psychology. As you know, I have managed to get different people in the community to talk about their areas of expertise. And today I have invited Mike, and I'll let you, Mike, introduce yourself in a minute, to talk to us about the importance of keeping ourselves active at this time of isolation. So, by all means, Mike, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi guys. I'm Mike Speck, and yeah, basically I'm a PT, and I've been doing it for 6 years. I'll give you a quick background for mine, kind of how I got into this, which is kind of might be relevant. I used to do music before this. I used to work for Centrelink for about 5 or 6 years before that. So I've kind of done sales before that. So I've got kind of a whole range of kind of things in the past that have led me to where I am now. I went on a journey of ended up losing 40 kilos because I had this lifestyle of being in the band and just going out and drinking and doing all that kind of stuff and not looking after myself. So I went on this mission, lost a lot of weight, found my love through fitness, and then I thought I would love to pass it on to others and share my knowledge and go from there. And also I love helping people, of course. That's got to be a part of it as well. So yeah, it's really interesting at this time with the current conditions, and I'm really interested to talk and about the new changes and the challenges that we've got in regards to the current conditions, basically.
Yeah, and that's a great point that you made, Mike, that you bring also your personal experiences. As you said, 40 kilos, that's huge. So you yourself know how easily, I guess, we can get to that point and the impact that can have on both our general well-being, physical as well as mental, because then that also places you in a very good position to have those conversations with people, knowing firsthand what that's like. And one of the things, Mike, that we're finding here is that people are experiencing, which is not surprising, and to be fair, everyone, even our psychologists, are experiencing at the very least a degree of stress and anxiety. So even if people weren't experiencing that before, we're finding that people are coming to us as the first time. And because a number of things have changed and there's a high degree of uncertainty, but for a lot of people too, is they've lost that connection with, say, a gym and that physical activity, which they were using as an outlet before. But now, because of this isolation, all these gyms have closed and they no longer have those outlets. And those were, personally for me, was not only the physical aspect that I was getting from it, but it was also a huge social outlet for me. That's where I would go and catch up with my friends. And I no longer have that. So what sort of ideas or suggestions or would you give to people, or what is it that you're finding being a personal trainer?
Yeah, look, I felt it as well, to be honest, because I was in the gym all day long, and I put so much stock into training, and it's such a good way to vent. And it doesn't matter what you've got throughout the day. You've got the gym; it's a stable. That's there no matter what. Done the day's worth of work, or maybe training before work. That was always a constant there. So I felt it as well. I had probably a good week of going, what am I doing? What's going on? So yeah, it's actually been very interesting to see people's reactions. So the way I'm doing things now is I've got the online via Zoom and things like that, with one-on-one, with group training, and also I've been lucky enough to be able to still see one-on-one in the park with obviously social distancing and things like that. And there have been some people that have come and seen me after a few weeks, one-on-one, and every single person have just come and said, this is amazing after the session's done, just for the fact that they can see someone, they can have a conversation, that for that mental health. Like, obviously the physical health is super important, but just the mental health, people seem to be forgetting.
Yes.
And there's all these levels, like you said, of anxiety and these things that people are like, what's going on? Especially in different states as well in Australia, there's we've had this issue where we've got, one message from kind of our higher ups, and then further down the line, there's a bit of a different message. So we're getting pulled in different directions going,
Yes.
oh, am I allowed to walk out here by myself? Do I have to go, can I sit in the park, or do I have to? So everyone's kind of like, what am I doing? What's going on? We need some clarity. So
Yeah.
I think it's been a bit tricky for people in terms of, like I said, losing that structure, that routine.
Yes.
And that's what I think is
Yes.
probably the key takeaway in all this is
Yes.
reestablishing routine, finding those strategies to be able to just go, okay, well, I'm not going to rely on motivation, because that we all know that motivation is there. When it's good, when it's there, it's fantastic. When it's not there, then you can't, it's not going to work. So especially now, building that routine, and getting out for the daily walks, or finding the exercise, or finding that time, that self-care time as well, is super, super important. And on a side note, one of my jobs way back in the day, I worked from home, and I am, the good thing about me, I guess, is because I've done it in the past, I've learned all the mistakes, and I've figured out what not to do, and the whole, fat loss journey and things like that. And I've done all the diets and all the stupid things, so I know what does work, what doesn't work.
Yes.
And in terms of like working from home, from a mental health and fitness point of view, if you don't have routine, what happens is you start to take shortcuts, right? So instead of getting up at 6 a.m. and then maybe doing, showering and transport or commuting to work, all of a sudden you're waking up at 8:30, rolling over, turn the computer on, and then start your day. And then you may not even get changed. So routine, super important. Find that structure in your day, and that is a really good building block to your fitness and also mental well-being.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got off track, and we're going to go off track a fair bit.
That's
sorry.
good. That's good. And that's also some of the things that we tell our clients, that routine is important and structure is important, as well as not falling in that monotony, because that's also one of the things that's happening for a lot of people, that because we find ourselves at home, we find ourselves doing the same thing over and over again, and it's becoming Groundhog Day, and impacting that level of motivation that you mentioned earlier. And in that instance, one of the things that we're also finding is that it's helpful to have someone they're accountable to for activity, for instance. So how are you finding, or what sort of feedback are people giving you with the online classes that you're running, Mike?
Yeah, it's all been pretty positive, because they know that no matter what, the way I do my classes are a live class at fixed time. So no matter what happens through the day, they know that, okay, hit 5 o'clock or 5:30, computer's off. Get ready for the workout. And I'm also big on community. Like, I really think community is super important, and the online community is no different. So it's just an extension of what you're used to, right? So I personally have got a bit of a community, and we're building slowly, and it's really important. So if someone doesn't turn up, then we can send a message saying, hey, everything all right? Hope all's good. See you on Saturday morning, for that accountability, and just a bit of a check-in as well. So the feedback's been very positive, and it's actually really, really cool to see how inventive and intuitive people are in terms of like resistance training, stuff like that. So a couple of days a week, I'll do a body weight class. So just like squats and push-ups and burpees, that B word that no one likes, with different tempos, different time signatures, and I will provide the music through the Zoom or whatever. So everyone just needs a bit of space, a towel, a mat, and they're good to go. Some of the other days I'll do resistance training, where it's, obviously ideally you've got your dumbbells and kettlebells, except obviously everyone's bought everything at the moment, and they're so hard to come by. So people are getting inventive. They're filling up, like, they may get some of the 2 to 3 litre bottles of milk, and they're filling that up with water, and there's some resistance straight away. They're using canned food for weights. they're filling up a bag full of weights for like, you know, something heavier for some squats and things like that. They're using their couch, they're using bed, just all sorts of different resources. It's really cool. So, yeah, the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. Having that accountability is really crucial, and also having variety, like you mentioned before. So you're not sitting there going, okay, I've got to walk, same old thing, same old thing. You know, go find a trainer, be it me, be it anyone else that you can relate to, and then get connected to your own community is a good takeaway, and let them, you know, steer that ship for you. Something that, so you've got that variety and you've got that accountability. So it's something to look forward to.
Definitely. And that can also before we finish, that can also help with loneliness. That's the other thing that we're finding ourselves very isolated, and the connection that we have is through screens, but very limited otherwise. So I'm also doing an online class, and on 4 times a week with some of my friends, and I'm finding that it's such a great time. I look forward to seeing them and spending that time with them at that particular time. And yes, one of the girls was using her pot as, you know, as weight, and I'm like, okay. And someone else was using Domestos bottles as well. I tried cheating, and I was using my son's soccer ball, so it wasn't quite heavy, so the instructor could know that I was cheating, but you know, points for being creative, I guess. So but I have found that also helps with that sense of being disconnected and pulled away from your friends.
That's right.
And I know that has been also the same feedback that my gym buddies have also given, that it's given them a sense of continuing to be connected, which is lovely.
Yeah, and sometimes it's difficult to go out of your way to reach out and go, are you okay? Like it's the intention's awesome, but that in itself can be a little bit fatiguing, right? If you have to keep going, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? So just everyone getting together, training, and then they've got something to talk about afterwards, because there's not that, you know, that pressure of having that one-on-one conversation or, you know, to and from. Now let's get into a big community. We're all sweating, we're all working, have a bit of fun with it as well. That's the other thing as well. Have some fun, because we're in these times that everyone's so anxious and so stressed out. Got to have fun with it. One of my clients is using, like, I think it's gin bottles for some kind of overhead presses and stuff like that. And I've seen someone else with some bottles of bourbon. So we're, you know, you're obviously not drinking them, but it's just, it's great, you know, it's just having fun with it. So I think having fun is very important as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much for that, Mike. So do you have any other tips or comments that you think would be helpful for people to be aware of? So where could people go for resources? Could you maybe provide me with some links of where people could go to?
I will send you some links, so when you post this, there'll be some links following for some content online. The good news is that there are so many good resources on YouTube and things like that. So you can follow someone that you kind of maybe have the same ideals with, to connect with, or maybe you just go, okay, that one there. But I'll find some things that are suitable. That'll be the easiest way of doing it. So for some free content. The second option would be find a trainer. Like if someone is normally going to their local gym, but the gym shut down, maybe do a little bit of research and see if that the PTs and that offer any services online, and connect, so that way you can still obviously stay within the community, you know, and give back in that sense. Otherwise, again, I'll show you some links there. Find a PT that you can relate to, that you can connect with, and now's a great chance to build that community, whether it be, and the good thing is with online is it doesn't have to be in the same state, it can be anywhere, which is absolutely fantastic. So absolutely, I'll send you some links. There's so much resources, and we can get stuck in.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you so much for giving away your time and sharing some tips with the community. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you for your time. Thanks.
Bye.